Have you ever wondered why so many people after 80 pass away from just a handful of causes? Once you reach this stage of life, there are main reasons. Some older adults remain surprisingly strong, alert and independent well into their 80s, while others face health struggles that quickly take away their strength and confidence. The difference often comes down to these key causes, hidden but powerful factors that quietly decide who keeps thriving and who becomes more vulnerable. In this video, we are going to talk about the 8 most common causes of death after 80, which together account for almost 99% of what takes lives at this age. These are not guesses or myths, but real patterns that doctors and researchers have observed in countless seniors across the world. Stay tuned until the very end, because some of these causes may surprise you, and you might be overlooking things in your own daily life that carry far more weight than you realize. And once you recognize these risks, you will have a clear idea of where you stand and what you can change to stay healthier and more independent in the years ahead. Now let's get started. Number 1. Cardiovascular disease. One of the leading causes of death after 80 is heart disease. And it is not hard to understand why. As the years pass, the heart muscle stiffens, blood vessels lose flexibility, and plaque builds up inside the arteries. This combination raises the risk of heart attacks, heart failure, and dangerous rhythm problems that can take a life suddenly. Imagine 2 men, George and William, both 82 years old. George has kept up with daily walks, follows his doctor's advice on blood pressure, and eats in a way that protects his heart. He still feels steady when climbing stairs, and rarely gets out of breath with light chores. William, on the other hand, once had an active lifestyle, but now struggles with shortness of breath and chest discomfort, even from simple activities. He ignores his blood pressure medication, and often skips doctor visits. While George's habits keep his circulation flowing and his heart resilient, William's neglect leaves him vulnerable to the very problems that make cardiovascular disease the top killer in this age group. The science is straightforward. When arteries are narrowed, the heart has to pump harder, which weakens the muscle over time. This raises the risk of sudden cardiac arrest, strokes, and congestive failure. Yet the good news is that heart health can still be influenced even after 80. If you keep your blood pressure under control, manage cholesterol, and remain physically active, you strengthen the very system that keeps you alive. Ask yourself this: do you find yourself getting winded from light activity? Do you feel chest tightness or unusual fatigue that was not there before? These could be signals from your body that should never be ignored. There are practical steps you can take right away. A short daily walk can make a significant difference, even if it is only 10 to 15 minutes at a steady pace. Following through with prescribed medications is crucial because missing doses puts unnecessary strain on your heart. Adding more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains to your meals while cutting back on heavy fatty foods can also ease the burden on your arteries. And perhaps most importantly, keep up with regular checkups. Doctors can catch problems like irregular rhythms or silent blockages before they lead to tragedy. Cardiovascular disease may account for the greatest number of deaths after 80, but it does not have to claim you too soon. Paying attention to your body, making consistent small choices, and respecting the limits of your heart can add years of vitality and independence to your life. Your heart is more than just a pump. It is the center of your strength and resilience. Treat it with care, and it will carry you much further than you might expect. Number 2. Sepsis from infections. Another leading cause of death after 80 is sepsis, a life-threatening reaction to infection that spreads through the bloodstream. At this age, the immune system is weaker, which means small infections that once seem minor can spiral quickly into something fatal. Think about 2 men, Arthur and Leonard, both 84 years old. Arthur pays attention to signs of infection, drinks enough water, and makes sure his skin stays clean and protected. When he developed a urinary tract infection, it was caught early and treated before it spread. Leonard, however, often ignores symptoms, uses a catheter without careful hygiene, and does not notice sores forming on his lower back. One day, he becomes suddenly confused and feverish, and by the time help arrives, the infection has already overwhelmed his system. This difference shows just how fast sepsis can take hold. When bacteria or other germs enter the body, they can cause the immune system to overreact, leading to widespread inflammation and organ failure. Urinary tract infections, pneumonia, and skin sores are the most common sources, especially in those who spend more time sitting or lying down. Once sepsis develops, even strong hospital treatment may not reverse the damage, but here is the hopeful news. Many steps can be taken to lower the risk. Staying hydrated helps flush bacteria from the urinary tract. Good skin care and pressure relief, such as changing position often and using cushions, protect against bed sores. Oral hygiene reduces harmful bacteria that can move into the lungs, and most importantly, treating small infections quickly with the help of a doctor keeps them from spreading. Ask yourself, do you or someone you love ignore frequent urination, burning pain, or unexplained fevers? Have you noticed any red or tender areas on the skin that are slow to heal? These may not seem urgent, but they are warnings that should never be brushed aside. Sepsis is dangerous because it moves silently and swiftly, but awareness is the strongest defense. By keeping watch over the simple signs of infection and acting promptly, you can protect yourself from one of the most devastating risks of advanced age. Even after 80, staying alert and attentive to your body can make the difference between crisis and continued independence. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3. Cancer. Cancer remains one of the most common causes of death after 80, and it develops silently over many years. The body accumulates changes in cells as we age, and by the time someone reaches their 80s, the chances of those changes turning harmful increase greatly. Consider 2 men, Charles and Edward, both 81 years old. Charles keeps up with routine screenings, avoids tobacco, and pays attention when his body feels different. When he noticed unusual fatigue and a change in his bowel habits, he went to his doctor, and the problem was caught early. Edward, on the other hand, has always dismissed checkups, convinced that feeling tired or losing weight was just part of getting old. Months later, when he finally saw a doctor, the cancer had already spread, limiting his treatment options. The science is simple. As cells age, errors in their DNA become more likely, and the immune system becomes less efficient at catching them. This is why cancers of the lung, colon, breast, and prostate, along with blood-related cancers, become more common with advancing years. Early signs are often small, unexpected weight loss, unusual bleeding, persistent coughs, or sudden changes in energy. These are signals from the body that should not be ignored. The difference between survival and decline often comes down to recognizing those signs early and acting on them. So what can you do? First, stay up to date with screenings that are still appropriate for your age and health condition. Even simple stool tests or imaging can reveal hidden dangers before they become severe. Second, take your lifestyle seriously. If you smoke, quitting even now can lower your risk, and if you drink, keep it moderate. Eating a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins helps your body defend itself, while limiting processed and fried foods reduces the strain on your system. Finally, listen to your body. If you notice something unusual, from a stubborn cough to a mole that changes shape, do not assume it is nothing. A quick check with a doctor can save valuable years of independence and strength. Ask yourself this: do you brush aside symptoms that seem too small to matter? Have you been skipping screenings because you think they are no longer useful? At your age, facing these questions honestly could be one of the most important steps you take. Cancer may be one of the leading causes of death after 80, but many cases are manageable when caught early, and simple habits can make a powerful difference in prevention. The goal is not just to live longer, but to live those extra years with energy and purpose, free from the weight of disease. Number 4. Respiratory disease and pneumonia. Breathing may feel automatic, but after 80, respiratory illness becomes one of the most dangerous threats to life. Chronic conditions like emphysema and bronchitis, combined with weaker immune defenses, set the stage for serious infections like pneumonia. Picture two women, Linda and Patricia, both 83 years old. Linda takes care to stay active, practices deep breathing exercises, and never misses her annual flu or pneumonia shot. She eats her meals sitting upright and keeps her lungs strong with light stretching. Patricia, however, often eats while reclining, struggles with swallowing difficulties, and puts off vaccinations. When she developed a chest infection, it quickly turned into pneumonia, leaving her hospitalized and dependent on oxygen. This difference shows why breathing health is not something to take for granted. As the muscles around the chest weaken and the body's ability to clear mucus declines, even a small infection can overwhelm the lungs. Swallowing problems, acid reflux, and dry mouth also raise the risk of food or liquid entering the lungs, leading to aspiration pneumonia. Once infection takes hold, recovery is far harder at this age, and many never regain their full strength. The science is clear: oxygen is the fuel for every cell in the body, and when the lungs cannot provide it, other organs quickly fail. But the good news is that lung health can be supported even in later years. Vaccination against flu, pneumonia, and other respiratory infections remains one of the strongest shields. Practicing good oral hygiene lowers the bacteria that can slip into the airway. Staying upright while eating, drinking plenty of water, and avoiding late-night heavy meals all protect against aspiration. For those with chronic lung conditions, learning proper inhaler use and keeping a simple pulmonary exercise routine can mean the difference between resilience and vulnerability. Ask yourself, do you often feel short of breath when walking across the room? Do you wake up coughing at night or struggle with swallowing? Have you kept up with your recommended vaccinations? These are not small concerns. They are signs your lungs may need more attention. While respiratory disease is a leading cause of death after 80, prevention and small daily choices can dramatically reduce your risk. Keep your lungs moving, stay protected, and listen to the signals your body gives you. Breathing well means living well, and protecting your lungs today could give you many more days of comfort, strength, and independence tomorrow. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5. Dementia-related complications. While dementia itself is not always the direct cause of death, the complications that follow make it one of the leading reasons seniors over 80 pass away. Memory loss and confusion slowly steal the ability to manage basic needs, leaving the body vulnerable to infections, malnutrition, and accidents. Imagine two men, Harold and Thomas, both 85 years old. Harold was diagnosed early, and with the help of his family, he set up routines, prepared meals ahead, and kept up with regular hydration reminders. He remained stable, still enjoying time outdoors and maintaining enough independence to move about safely. Thomas, however, ignored the early warning signs, and as his memory declined, he often forgot to eat or drink,
left the stove on, and lost track of his medications. Over time, weakness, infections and weight loss took hold, eventually leading to a severe illness that he could not recover from. The science behind this is sobering. The brain controls everything from swallowing to balance, and when cognitive function weakens, the body's defenses fall apart. Difficulty swallowing increases the chance of food or liquid entering the lungs, causing aspiration pneumonia. Forgetting to eat or drink leads to dehydration and frailty. Reduced mobility increases the risk of pressure sores and blood clots. Each of these complications can tip the balance toward a downward spiral, yet there is hope. Even when dementia is present, small strategies can greatly extend quality of life. Consistent daily routines reduce confusion and stress. Meals that are soft and nutrient-rich help prevent choking and maintain strength. Caregivers can encourage fluids at regular times, preventing dangerous dehydration. Gentle physical activity, like short walks or seated exercises, keeps circulation moving and supports balance. Early medical guidance and community resources also make a tremendous difference in keeping someone safe and engaged. Ask yourself, have you or someone you love noticed growing forgetfulness, difficulty swallowing, or unexplained weight loss? Do you sometimes dismiss these signs as just old age? Recognizing them early can change the course of the years ahead. Dementia-related complications are a powerful reminder that health is more than physical. It is deeply tied to mind and memory. By acknowledging the risks and making small, steady adjustments, seniors and their families can reduce suffering and preserve dignity. Protecting the brain means protecting the whole person, and even in the later stages of life, steps can be taken to hold on to independence and connection for as long as possible. Number 6. Falls and hip fractures. One of the most underestimated causes of death after 80 is not an illness at all, but a fall. A simple slip in the bathroom or a stumble on the stairs can lead to a hip fracture. And for many seniors, that single event begins a rapid decline. Consider two women, Ruth and Elaine, both 82 years old. Ruth practices balance exercises every day, uses supportive shoes, and has her home arranged to prevent tripping hazards. She feels steady when she walks and recovers quickly when she loses her balance. Elaine, however, has weaker legs, takes several medications that make her dizzy, and keeps clutter around her living space. One night, she trips over a rug and breaks her hip. Surgery follows, but her recovery is slow, and she never regains the independence she once had. Within a year, other health issues begin to pile up, and her quality of life declines sharply. The science is clear. As bones lose density and muscles weaken, the body's ability to recover from a fracture diminishes. A broken hip is not just about pain. It often leads to long hospital stays, infections, blood clots, and a permanent loss of mobility. This downward spiral raises the risk of death significantly. What makes this cause so important is that falls are often preventable. Many risks hide in plain sight, from loose rugs and poor lighting to medications that affect balance. But here is the encouraging part. You can take meaningful action today. Strength and balance exercises, even as simple as standing on one foot for a few seconds each day, can build stability. Removing clutter, securing rugs, and adding grab bars in the bathroom create a safer environment. Reviewing your medications with your doctor helps identify those that may make you unsteady. Adequate protein and vitamin D support bone strength, while proper footwear with good traction reduces slips. Ask yourself, do you sometimes feel unsteady when turning quickly? Have you had a close call where you almost fell? Are there areas in your home that feel unsafe or hard to navigate? Facing these questions honestly can save your independence. Falls and hip fractures may account for a large share of deaths after 80, but they do not have to claim yours.
Protecting your balance, strengthening your body, and making your home safer are powerful steps that keep you on your feet and in control. Independence is built on mobility, and by taking these precautions, you can extend both your strength and your life. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 7, stroke. Another major cause of death after 80 is stroke, and it can strike with little warning. Strokes happen when blood flow to the brain is suddenly blocked, or when a weakened vessel bursts, leaving permanent damage. At this age, the risks are higher because conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, and irregular heart rhythms become more common and more dangerous. Picture 2 women, Alice and Dorothy, both 84 years old. Alice visits her doctor regularly, keeps her blood pressure stable, and takes medication to control her irregular heartbeat. She stays active, practices balance exercises, and eats foods that support her circulation. Dorothy, in contrast, often forgets her prescriptions and brushes off frequent headaches and dizziness. One afternoon, she suddenly struggles to speak and feels weakness on one side of her body. By the time she gets to the hospital, the damage is already done, leaving her dependent on others for daily care. This difference shows why stroke is so deadly, but also so preventable. The brain depends on a steady, uninterrupted flow of oxygen-rich blood, and when that supply is cut off, even for minutes, brain cells begin to die. This can lead to paralysis, memory loss, and in severe cases, death. What makes this cause especially dangerous is that the signs are often ignored or mistaken for minor issues until it is too late. If you notice sudden numbness in your face, weakness in your arm, or slurred speech, these are not just small lapses, they are urgent alarms. Doctors often remind us to remember the word fast, face drooping, arm weakness, speech trouble, time to call for help. But here is the good news. Just like with heart disease, there are powerful steps you can take to lower your risk of stroke. Keeping blood pressure within a healthy range is the single most important step. Monitoring your heart rhythm and treating atrial fibrillation with proper medication can prevent clots from forming. Staying active with daily movement, even gentle walks or light stretching, helps keep your circulation strong, and making thoughtful choices in your diet, like reducing salt and focusing on fresh, whole foods, keeps your vessels flexible and your blood flowing freely. Ask yourself, do you often feel dizzy, have unexplained headaches, or notice weakness in your grip or step? Have you been neglecting your blood pressure checks or avoiding medical advice on heart rhythm problems? These questions are not meant to scare you, but to remind you that prevention is possible at every stage. A stroke can change everything in an instant, but by paying attention to these risks today, you may save yourself from a future of dependence or worse. Number 8. Frailty syndrome. Frailty is one of the quietest yet most powerful causes of death after 80. It is not a single disease, but a state where the body becomes so weak that even small stresses, like a minor infection or a short hospital stay, can trigger a rapid decline. Picture 2 women, Helen and Martha, both 83 years old. Helen eats balanced meals rich in protein, takes short walks with her neighbor, and keeps a small set of hand weights by her chair. Her body may be slower, but she maintains enough muscle and energy to bounce back from setbacks. Martha, on the other hand, has lost interest in food, skips meals, and spends most of her day sitting. Over time, her muscles shrink, her weight drops, and her stamina fades. When she catches a mild cold, her body does not have the reserves to fight it off, and what should have been minor becomes life-threatening. The science is straightforward. Frailty develops when muscle mass, nutrition, and energy all decline together, leaving the body with no cushion to recover from stress. It is often marked by slow walking, unintended weight loss, constant fatigue, and frequent illness. Once frailty sets in, risks of falls, infections, and organ failure rise sharply. Yet, the most concerning part is how easily it can be overlooked, mistaken for normal aging rather than a dangerous condition. But frailty is not inevitable. Even in your 80s, you can fight back by rebuilding strength and resilience. Focus on protein with each meal. Foods like eggs, beans, and fish provide the building blocks your muscles need. Gentle resistance exercises, whether lifting light weights or using resistance bands, stimulate muscle growth. Staying hydrated supports circulation, and a regular routine of small movements keeps energy from fading away. Social connection also plays a role, since eating with others and staying engaged encourages better nutrition and activity. Ask yourself, have you noticed clothes fitting looser without trying? Do you feel unusually tired from small tasks, or find it harder to get out of a chair? These may not just be old age, they are signals of frailty that deserve attention. Frailty is the body's way of warning that it cannot handle much more stress. The good news is that with daily effort, you can strengthen your reserves and hold on to your independence longer. It is never too late to add vitality back into your life. Every healthy meal, every short walk, and every bit of strength training is a step away from frailty and toward a more secure, energetic tomorrow. Final thoughts. Now that you know these 8 causes, take a moment to reflect on where you stand. After 80, almost all deaths can be traced back to cardiovascular disease, stroke, cancer, respiratory illness, dementia complications, falls, sepsis, and frailty. Each of these might sound overwhelming, but the good news is that most are not beyond your control. Your body is still giving you signals, and the choices you make today, whether that means taking a walk, eating a protein-rich meal, or calling your doctor about new symptoms, can protect your future. Think about it. Are you moving through life with enough strength and confidence, or do you notice subtle changes that could be warning signs? The encouraging truth is that even small adjustments create lasting benefits. Keeping your blood pressure steady, staying on top of screenings, practicing balance, and paying attention to how you eat and sleep all give you a stronger foundation. You are not powerless against these 8 causes. You have more influence than you may believe. So do not wait until a crisis forces change. Start now. Notice your walking speed, test your grip, pay attention to your sleep and appetite. Manage stress, and keep your connections with loved ones alive. These are the habits that will carry you forward. Longevity is not a mystery. It is the result of daily care, self-awareness, and determination. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.